Hey, Motorman here. I'm at Gator Harley-Davidson, and I'm going to take some motorcycles for a test ride and review. And here is the LiveWire. This is the first motorcycle I'm going to take for a test ride. I've never ridden a electric motorcycle. It's supposed to be pretty powerful. Has a range of about 110 miles. I guess that would depend on how much throttle you use. As far as the styling of this motorcycle, it's to me it's a sport bike look to it, maybe a sporting standard look. Missing, of course, is what would normally be the motor, and we've got a big electric motor instead. Now, speaking with Warren Hill, he's the manager here. He says he was really surprised at how much he liked this motorcycle, and that I'll probably be surprised myself. And we're going to find out in just a few minutes. Let me show you a couple of things here on the dash, how this starts. You press this button, and you press and hold this button. And it's telling me right now to raise the stand. There are several different modes. Here's your mode button here. And right now, I guess that's green. That would probably be the easiest riding mode. And I'm not sure what that one is. So this is a sport mode, rain mode. And I'm sure, you know, there's no tack, of course, but we're going to take it for a ride, and I'll tell you exactly what I think. By the way, this for around $30,000, and they can be charged up any place where you could charge an electric car. As far as taking it for a cross-country trip, you'd have to really plan that well, I would imagine. All right, so my first impressions are pretty low seat height. I'm flat-footing it, no problem. It's a thin motorcycle, so it's not like your feet or your legs are stretched out sideways. And here we go, pressing this button, pressing this one, and of course looking for the clutch that is not there. It's really strange not having the clutch, for one thing, but hearing no motor noise at all. Vision out the back through the side mirrors is not very much. You gotta really move my arm inside to see what's going on. "42 miles an hour. It doesn't feel like you're hardly moving. And again, as I come to the stop sign, I'm looking for the clutch that's not there. Okay, so yeah, it's really fast. The torque is immediate. Wow. It feels like a very light motorcycle. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check what the weight is on this bike, but it feels extremely light. Much like a sport bike. Minus, of course, any engine noise at all. Just a slight whining. I'm not sure if you can even hear that on camera. You're probably going to hear more wind noise than anything else because obviously there's no windshield. Odd feeling not hearing that motor, not being able to downshift for this corner. I'm gonna do some braking and roll on the throttle as normal. And it's a very smooth throttle. I thought it might be abrupt because of the electric motor, sort of like an on and off switch like you get in a I don't know, a golf cart, where there's not much feel at all to the throttle. But it's not that way. It's very smooth. Strong brakes. They are ABS, and I'm going to have to check, but I'm pretty sure. In fact, I would almost guarantee that it's got cornering ABS as well. As far as ride quality, very smooth. Going over a few bumps here, they're barely noticeable. So Harley did their homework on the suspension of this motorcycle. Not too much engine braking, which of course, since you don't have gears for it to gear down, that's understandable. So you actually have to use more brake than you normally would on a regular motorcycle. As you're slowing down, you know, you take a regular Harley-Davidson, you get off the throttle, depending on what gear you're on. It's you get quite a bit of engine braking, but here there's very little. Oh, beautiful handle motorcycle. So you maybe think by now, would I ever get one of these? Well, 30,000. Yeah, that's kind of high price for what's not a long distance tour, just a round town motorcycle, especially with the 110 mile an hour range, or 110 mile range. A lot of sand on that corner. I was up here a couple of months ago, same thing. It definitely is a fun bike to ride. The riding position is, I got a lot of weight on my hands, so, you know, on a long ride, something like this, it'd probably be, get a little tiring on the wrist. But of course, there's zero vibration. So it's not like your hands are going to fall asleep from the vibration. There's actually none. If you've ever ridden a Goldwing with that 6-cylinder or the BMW 6-cylinder motor and said, hey, there's no vibration, yeah, there's even less on this. Virtually none. Definitely a fun motorcycle. And do I think it's going to be the future? I don't know. It's hard to say. Still, there's the problem of the range. You know, you're taking a long ride, you got to find some place where you could charge the motorcycle after 100 miles or so, or depending on how you use the throttle, it could be even less. But the acceleration, now that's fun. Very well balanced motorcycle. Turns in beautifully. Just a slight push on those handlebars and the motorcycle turns. Just like a sport bike, but without the noise, without any vibration. Here's Tim on the LiveWire. Tim, as you know, is a professional rider. If you've seen him in my videos, he's checking out maneuverability. Looks pretty good. Were you using any brake or just throttle? It's that throttle is nice and smooth. You could do it without the brake, huh? All right, let's take it for a ride. Tim Hamilton's still on that LiveWire. Got to get his opinion on it. It is a fun motorcycle to ride. All right, Tim, come here.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
That was crazy. I'm not used to that kind of speed anymore and that acceleration. That was very, very, very fun. Very fun ride.
It's pretty smooth, isn't it?
Smooth, easy to handle. It feels so lightweight. Wow, it was a lot of fun. I really liked it.
Now you're hearing that from a professional rider. I know you see a lot of stuff on YouTube, guys, that some kid goes to Harley-Davidson or any motorcycle dealership and they let them ride. They really have no clue what they're doing. We are professionals, so don't try this at home. Now you could try anything we did at home. I'm kidding. But believe me, we know what we're talking about. We say this is a fun bike to ride and handles beautifully. You could take that to the bank. Next, we're going to have Marianne. Marianne, step over here in front of the camera so they can see you. That's Marianne Hamilton. You've seen her in plenty of my videos or in our Leesburg show with a Ride Like a Pro video. And this is going to be your first experience as well on this bike, right?
Yep, never been on it.
Okay, let's give it a try.
Okay, let's try.
It is, of course, a whole different feel from these big touring bikes that we rode up here on. But so would any sport bike be. But what makes it more so is because, you know, there's no motor, there's no vibration. And there's all kinds of power. I mean, the power comes on immediately. Excellent brakes. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, it stops on a dime. Very powerful brakes. And of course, with the cornering ABS, even if that bike is leaned over in the corner, oh look, she's getting jiggy with it. Even leaned over in a corner, you could still use your brakes, and the bike won't light the low side on you. I have that on this motorcycle as well. And that's brand new for Harley-Davidsons in 2020. Other manufacturers, usually on sport bikes, have had it for some time. Don't have to worry about scraping the pegs on that bike either. I mean, I'm betting the lean angle is over 45 degrees, or at least thereabouts. Just like, you know, most sport bikes compared to cruisers, you'll run out of lean angle on a cruiser before you run out of traction, and on a lot of sport bikes it's the opposite. Once you get past that about 45 degrees or so, if your pegs aren't scraping, there's a good chance you're going to run out of traction. Do it again. Checking out maneuverability. Looks pretty good. Very easy motorcycle to ride. Throttle take up is very smooth. All right, I want to talk to you. Now you're what, 5'3"?
Yep.
And how is that? You're on the balls of your feet, so it's not a problem. It's pretty light motorcycle, moving from side to side. What did you think? Got to speak up because the mic is inside here.
It is amazing. It's would never guess it has this much power to it. Just to hit that throttle and you're at 60 in no time. And very nimble on the corners. I really had fun on it.
It steers nice, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
I mean, the slightest movement of the bars and that bike leans over.
Yeah.
I noticed you getting a little jiggy with it.
I was having a little fun.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
All right.
By the way, if you like these road tests, I try to do a couple of them a month, 2 or 3. I hope you subscribe, click the little bell so you'll be notified each time I come out with a new video. I'm doing probably 2 or 3 videos a week. Some of them are just motorcycle tips. Others are all kinds of things that I've learned through the years of riding. So please hit that subscribe button.